All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something pretty much all of us deal with every single day, sugar. And we're going to unpack the real science behind it.
You know that feeling, right? That powerful, intense craving for something sweet that just seems to hit you out of nowhere? So what's actually going on inside our brains? Why is it so ridiculously hard to say no?
Well, it turns out we're kind of programmed for this. From the moment we're born, sweet is the taste we crave. And that's because it flips a switch in our brain, releasing these amazing feel-good chemicals. Serotonin, endorphins, the stuff that makes you feel calm, relaxed, and gives you that little natural high.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, that instant gratification has a flip side. It actually kicks off this whole cycle. A super quick high followed by a really nasty crash.
Yeah, think of it like this. Eating simple sugar is like hitting the nitro boost on a race car. You get this incredible fast surge of energy, but just as quickly you run out of fuel and come crashing back down, leaving you feeling tired, kind of grumpy, and guess what? Craving more of the exact thing that got you there in the first place.
So what's the master puppeteer behind this whole cycle? It's a little chemical called dopamine. This is your brain's reward system going, ooh, that felt good. Let's do that again. Every single time you get that sugar rush, you're just reinforcing that reward pathway, making the craving even stronger next time.
And believe it or not, that rush and crash cycle, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The long-term consequences of constantly eating too much sugar go way, way beyond just feeling a little tired in the afternoon.
I mean, look at this. Diets that are consistently packed with added sugars are tied to some really serious stuff. We're talking about chronic inflammation all over your body, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is exactly what it sounds like, and a much higher risk for things like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. It's a big deal.
But here's where the story gets really, really interesting and maybe a little scary. The connection isn't just physical. It goes so much deeper. It actually starts messing with our mental health.
And this isn't just speculation. The science is pretty clear on this. A huge meta-analysis from just this year, 2024, looked at 40 different studies with over 1 million people. And what they found was a direct, significant link between how much sugar people eat and their risk of depression.
And we're not talking about a small blip here. The study found that a high-sugar diet was linked to a 21% greater risk of developing depression. That is a massive number.
So all of this naturally leads to the big question, right? How much is too much? And how much are we actually eating compared to what we should be eating?
Okay, get ready for this because the answer is pretty wild. The average American adult eats 17 teaspoons of added sugar every single day. To try and wrap your head around that, the American Heart Association figured it out. That's about 60 pounds of added sugar for every person every year. 60 pounds?
And this chart just lays it all out, plain as day. The recommendation for women is around 6 teaspoons a day. For men, it's 9. And the average intake? 17. So on average, most of us are eating double, sometimes almost triple the recommended daily limit.
So where's all this sugar coming from? Well, the number one source, no surprise, is sugary drinks. But here's the sneaky part. Sugar is hiding in plain sight in foods you'd never think of as sweet. We're talking sandwiches, yogurt, bread, even your jar of pasta sauce. And part of the reason it's so sneaky is that sugar goes by a ton of different names. When you're scanning an ingredients list, it's not just sugar. It could be corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose. Honestly, a good rule of thumb is to be suspicious of anything ending in O's. It makes it incredibly difficult to really know how much you're getting. Okay, so we get it. We see the risks, we see how much we're eating. The next logical step is, what can we actually do about it? How can we start to tame those cravings and get back in the driver's seat?
All right, so what do you do right in that moment when a craving strikes? Well, health experts say it's good to have a little bag of tricks ready to go. You could try pairing a small treat with something healthy like a banana, or just get up and go for a quick walk. Change your scenery, distract your brain. Chewing some sugar-free gum can actually help, research shows. Or, the simplest one, just grab a piece of fruit. You get the sweetness, but with fiber and nutrients to back it up.
And this is so important to remember. The goal here isn't to demonize sugar or live a life without any treats at all. I mean, sometimes a little bit of added sugar can actually help you eat healthier foods, right? Like a little honey in your Greek yogurt or a sprinkle of brown sugar on your oatmeal. It's all about balance.
Which really brings us to our final thought here. This whole conversation, it isn't about aiming for a life that's totally sugar-free. That's probably not realistic for most of us. It's about being aware, being empowered, and making conscious choices for your health in the long run.
So maybe the goal isn't to be sugar-free, it's just to be sugar-smarter.